Let's get right to our panel. With us from Austin, Texas, MSNBC and NBC Latino contributor Victoria DeFrancesco Soto, and from Capitol Hill, Congressman Steven Horsford, Democrat of Nevada. Congressman, since it's your debut on our broadcast and we're delighted to have you, we'll start with you. You heard your fellow Nevada Democrat, Harry Reid. He wants this done by 4th of July, but Senator Ted Cruz rejected that idea a short time ago. Take a listen to Mr. Cruz.
This bill is going to pass the Senate. But as written, this bill will not pass the House. And if this bill did become law, it would not solve the problem. Indeed, it would make the problem of illegal immigration that we have today worse rather than better.
So there's Mr. Cruz putting the P into pessimism. What's your reaction to that, sir?
Well, thank you for having me on. This is a big day. It's a big day because comprehensive immigration reform is moving forward, finally, after more than 3 decades. And it's time because we have a broken immigration system. As President Obama and others have said, this is not a perfect bill, but it's a fair and tough bill. It's a just and humane bill. It's something that's going to keep families together. It's going to require employers to only hire those who are authorized to work here in America. It's going to ensure that we continue to strengthen our borders. And most importantly, it's going to keep our families together. And I am confident that we're going to get this done this year.
Congressman, you just described it as a big day, but for Ted Cruz, Senator Ted Cruz, it's a very bad day.
Well, there's some people who just unfortunately don't want to be part of the solution and working together. There is overwhelming bipartisan recognition that our immigration system is broken. And it's broken for the dreamers who have come to this country at no fault of their own. People in my district like Alan and Astrid who want to contribute to this country, who want a pathway to citizenship, and it's time that we deliver on behalf of all the people who deserve that pathway to citizenship.
Hear, hear, sir. Victoria, I can't remember the last time we've seen such a show of bipartisanship. Rubio, the president on the same page, Speaker John Boehner exhibiting rare signs of optimism and cooperation, but not everyone is singing "It's a Small World After All." Take a listen to Alabama Senator Jeff Sessions. Here he comes.
The sponsors that are producing legislation for us today will not say, amazingly, how many people they expect to enter into our country if their bill passes. Why not? You don't know or you won't say. Either one is an indictment of this monstrosity. And that's why it cannot pass.
So, Victoria, this bill passes and all the borders are overrun. Mayhem ensues.
You know, I don't agree with Ted Cruz very often. And in the clip you just played earlier, he said that if immigration reform passes, that it won't necessarily solve immigration. And I do agree with him to an extent because there's so much focus on border security that we're not keeping our eye on the real issue of why people come here in the first place, because of the demand, because there are employers who want to hire these hardworking folks. So if Sessions and Cruz and all of the naysayers took some of the resources that they want to throw at the border and take 20,000 troops that they want to put at the border and put that to looking into the fields, the meatpacking plants, where immigrants illegally are hired, we wouldn't have an illegal immigration system. So it's disingenuous of Republicans to put all of the onus on the border and not really look at the pull of the business side of it.
Absolutely. Congressman, the amendment phase is next. And as you know, we might see a bipartisan bill laden with all manner of pet provisions. And by pets, I mean alligators lining the moats at the border, of course, as recommended by Herman Cain. And presumably, all of these poison pill amendments may ultimately kill the bill anyway.
Well, look, there's already been more than 100 amendments adopted through the Senate Judiciary Committee process. And while there may be additional amendments brought forward in the Senate debate, we need to stay focused on what this is really about. This is about people. I believe comprehensive immigration reform is really the civil and human rights issue of our time. And it's time that we focus on what this means to families, what it means to our workforce. We have 1 in 4 tech startup companies that were started by immigrants. Major Fortune 500 companies that were established because of the contribution of the immigrant communities. And that's a big part of our heritage as a nation. Yes, we are a nation of laws, and yes, we are a nation of immigrants, and we need a comprehensive immigration bill that reflects both.
Congressman Steven Horsford, baptism on our broadcast. Thank you, sir. And Victoria DeFrancesco Soto, we're always glad to have you. Thank you both.